What's up, boys and girls? It's been a while since I shared one of my projects. My last upload was a Nexus 7 dashboard retrofit, and thought it was time to give back to our community once again. Today I'm sharing my multi-zone entertainment cabinet. This project had several purposes. One was to build a multi-zone video distribution system from HD devices. Second was to conceal all those devices within a custom-cooled cabinet, keep it out of sight. Three was to keep the cost as low as possible. Just bought a home with the wife, and that was necessary. So with all the on-hand parts, including fan controller, HDMI cables, security DVR, my out-of-pocket cost was about $230. And since I save about $9 a month with only one cable box, I actually have a break-even at about 2 years, which is pretty sweet. I'm looking into insurance discounts related to security cams as well, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. Alright, to keep it short, I'm going to give you a rundown of my cabinet and all the equipment I used to make it possible. Then we'll make our way outside that cabinet for a rundown of zoning and IR distribution. So let's go check it out.
Alright, so we're actually outside the AV cabinet right now. I just wanted to give you a lay of the land here. We've got two cabinets built around our fireplace. So I've taken over the right one, and that's where I stuffed all my AV equipment to keep it out of sight, protected. And so let's go into the cabinet. Okay, so a lot of people see this cabinet and say, wow, there's a lot going on in here, and there is, I guess. It's not too complex of a system, though. At the end of the day, I have 4 sources, and I've got 4 pigtailed HDMI cables running from different zones of the house to this cabinet. And so let's check out. So we got four inputs. We've got my gaming PC, overclocked i7 with a GTX 570 GPU in it. We've got just an older generation Samsung Blu-ray player. On top of that is my Xfinity cable box, and then we have my security DVR. So those are the 4 sources. Custom built PC. The Samsung, you probably pick up one of those for $80 now on eBay. Got my Xfinity cable box. Those are of course built into your cable plan. Got my security DVR. That was $130, I think, about on Amazon about a year ago. It did not include the hard drive, so it's cost savings to you. And then, of course, so my HDMI matrix is $130. So when I talk about, oh, this project cost me $230, basically we're looking at the price of the HDMI matrix right there. It's $130, and the RCA remote's not in the cabinet, obviously. And then I've got the this is the little Ramsey IR remote repeater. So we've got 4 input sources, and they all go to the 4x4 HDMI switcher. About $130 again for monoprice. I should also mention that I picked it up used at that price, $130. I did go through one bad one. It was bad because basically 2 of the outputs did not switch correctly. They just act really erratically. So second time's a charm in this case. So $130 got me an inexpensive HDMI matrix that I think works fantastic. You just want to make sure that your matrix, if you don't go with the mono price, it has Sandy. That it has IR, because you'll be sending commands to that from your zones, and you want to make sure that it's happening copacetically. So, all right, so again, 4 inputs going to that HDMI matrix, outputting into 4 HDMI cables going to different places of the house. 1 being my living room, 2nd being my lower level, 3rd being my my 3-season porch, and 4 being our bedroom. So all this stuff is controlled by these Ramsey IR repeater kits. Now they're really cool kits, and I say kit is because you have to build it yourself. And they take about an hour a piece, but they're only $15, and they're amplified, and they have air correction technology. So you can basically send a command in the brightest sunlight, under a comforter, and you'll be fine. It sends it and reliably relays it to the IR transmitter. They claim over 500 feet has been tested. I can testify for 50 feet. I've got 2 runs that are 50 feet going through my attic. So, and it works without a problem. And I've kind of jerry-rigged it. So all of these would normally pigtail to an IR transmitter. What I've done is I've built a little distribution block for it. So I've basically just taken over 2 Ethernet splitters. They're actually tied together. You can see the split of the board right here. So these are 2 boards. So instead of powering those remote repeaters discreetly using four power supplies, 4 zones, I just inject power over an Ethernet cable, and that same Ethernet cable brings back the IR commands. So again, it just comes back to being modular. I like everything to be modular so you can troubleshoot it easy. So I'm having trouble with one zone, I can just take my porch out here, for instance, and switch it with my lower level. So yeah, this makes my life a lot easier, and I can also free float the IR extenders. I do not need to plug each of them in. And just as a side note, I have doubled up, just like power over Ethernet would double up on pins. 8 pins in Ethernet. I'm using 4 of them for power and 4 of them for the IR transmitter. So this box has been working really well, mounted in the corner here, perfectly pointed at my devices, and it's pretty flawless. I mean, they're very strong infrareds. They amplify them. I think they're putting half an amp out. Yes, IR transmitters should only see 300, but it's pulsing this, so you don't have to really worry about them burning out. And if they did, it'd be really easy to swap them. But I don't perceive any problems. And this solution, I mean, the HDMI matrix is at the heart of your system. It's got to work, and this one just switches. It does everything right. I will say that I know some of these splitters and switches, they have trouble if you have one 720 TV and one 1080. I do. 3 of my TVs are 1080 and one of them 720. This one just very nicely just drops the resolution of all the TVs if you're on 720, and the moment you turn the 720 TV off, your TV's resample, or the HDMI resamples, and everything switches back to 1080. So really neat feature, really well thought out HDMI matrix at a really affordable cost. All right, so let's talk about how I cool this cabinet. I drilled a bunch of holes. Well, I did drill a bunch of holes, and beneath those holes was a subfloor, was actually the flooring of my living room. So I actually removed that flooring from the basement up so I could pull a nice fresh air. I do that with 4 exhaust fans chilling up there. So you could see, in true Jeff fashion, I have made that modular too. So you can see that center piece of wood right there that actually pulls out, and those fans pull out, and it could be replaced in less than a minute. So behind those fans is the underneath of the office we were just in. So it basically pulls in the air from the front of the cabinet and exhausts it out the rear top of the cabinet. So convection is on my side. So I also have, well, I'll include a shot showing you the empty cabinet. There's some holes behind, and there's some holes to the left of my PC where there's another intake fan on my case. So this is all controlled by this X-Vision fan controller. I actually had the fan controller, so it was cost savings to me. I think it would run about $35 though on Amazon, something like that. So it can control 5 fans, and it's got 5 thermal probes. I will mention the probes do not control the fan speed. You manually control the fan speed. I wish I had more control over it, but I've actually found that keeping the outer fans at 600 and my inner fans at 700 actually keeps the equipment really cool. I've actually never hit over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Respectively, in my 570 GPU and my computer, it's about like mid 70s, and my CPU is like mid to high 30s. So this is about 5 degrees max what I've seen in a normal environment, because this cabinet really does. I mean, it works. It pulls in the cold air, and it just recycles that air pretty well. So you can see I have 4 probes. I have one intaking air, one testing the air, probing the air, whatever you want to say, from the basement. We're at 71 in that basement. On the top of my PC there, we're at 77. In that first cluster back there with my Blu-ray, cable box, DVR, and matrix, the matrix does get a little warm. It's 86, and the top of my amp near the output section is 79. So I can keep a good eye on my temperatures. I really have not lifted these fans past 600-700 RPMs. They are, I'll have to get you the model of the fans. There's just spares I had, and they're whisper quiet if you could hear. So that's basically the cooling cabinet, the cooled cabinet, cooling system in my cabinet. And we'll take a look at the multi-zones. Alright, so here we are outside of my AV cabinet again. Just wanted to give you a rundown of my zones. To keep this video short, I'm just going to do one zone per one input to one zone. So in the living room here, I'm going to go to live TV and just show you the security cams. So it's the one zone. I'm actually using my Logitech remote. I have a leftover Harmony 610 that I chose for the living room because so I can take more control of my Yamaha amp and the components here. So I can hit watch TV. Basically turns on my TV, turns on all the equipment, sets the matrix to the cable box input. My amp switches to the input it needs to. So we've got live TV, and I've basically I have an activity for the security, but I also can just go to page 2 here of TV, watching TV, and I can go into cams. So I just hit cams and it switches over, the matrix switches to the cams, which I should mention, the security DVR uses a VGA to HDMI adapter that I had, and I think it's flaking out because on the screen you actually see some lines in it, and that's not native to the HDMI. I think it's the converter. So you could see my my driveway view with my car parked out there. That's the X5 I stuffed my Nexus tablet in. You should check out that video if you have not already. My backyard and my 3-season porch. I have a camera in my 3-season porch because I have another zone in that porch, and we'll go out to there right now. Alright, so here's another zone I have. It's my 3-season porch, and I'm controlling this zone with an RCA remote. I'll get you the model number for that. But these are $13 remotes, learning remote controls. It has abundance of buttons you can take over. Backlit, you really can't beat that. So I do have a little amp in here, a little Onkyo amp feeding some ADS outdoor speakers. So I could use this remote generally easy. Just throw on the TV power. Throw some audio on. Amplifier controls the amplifier, no problem. The only thing I had to teach it was the HDMI matrix and the cams, and that was expected. So here we are. This is zone 2 to me. And we should see TV in just 1 second here, unless I'm not on the right input. And there I am on the cam. So I've taken over the red button for security, and this will actually change the view of the security. Oh, I have to be in cable mode though. Change the view of the security. And then I can go back to TV. And then I even have my Blu-ray attached to it, so I'd press the Blu-ray button, and I'll show you that downstairs, just again to keep this. We are down on the lower level. This is my zone 3. I have access to all the inputs just like I do in any other zone. This will be my preferred zone probably. I do not have a couch in here yet, so this will be somewhere where I could just go out, go down and chill out, play some video games. The RCA remote works just like the other RCA remotes, except these buttons now correspond with different commands going to that matrix to suit this output TV. So to use it, again, very user friendly. Just hit the TV button, comes on. I'll turn my amp on. Looks like my amp is already on. Just change it to the right input here. Video 2. And oh, it looks like I'm on my gaming PC, which works phenomenally, by the way. That media cabinet is right behind that wall over there, so it allows me to use just a standard RF keyboard, that works without a problem. Certainly, my Xbox 360 remote works, and so I have access to games down here as well, But that's not all we do with TVs, so I can still hit up my security cams by pressing the red button similar to the other zones, as long as I'm on cable again. So I press the red button to get there. Change my view again. I can go back to TV. And you can hit up the Blu-ray player as well from down here. So yeah, that's about it. Let's go check out the fourth and last zone in our
This
bedroom.
is the
fourth and final zone, I promise. This is the bedroom. This is the zone that started it all, really. I wanted to, create that multi-zone experience where we can access the DVR, surveillance cameras, etc. from this room. And why pay Comcast $9 a month for an extra box just to do that? So the remote, same remote, works the same as the others. Just press TV. TV turns on, and I have access to all those other zones. So, give it a second to boot up. Alright, so there's the DVD. I can go to DVD and I can control it just like any other zone. Or I can switch the zone to the cable. Primary function of this room is cable and security. And that's about it. So I hope this video would inspire some of you to zone out your entertainment center. It's a good way to save some money, conceal your devices, especially without breaking the budget. So I hope it's inspiring, and happy to answer any questions you might have. I had a blast building it, and be happy to help you too. So that's about it. Give me a holler. Thank you for watching.